ever since the court case started in South Africa with regard to the body of the late President Edgar Chagwa, most of the conversations have pretty much simmered down. Like everyone is now just waiting for the court verdict. So, as you may be aware, the Attorney General, on behalf of Zambia, objected to the burial of Edgar Chagwa in South Africa. So that court case is still proceeding, but I haven't seen any hearings happening, of the videos of the court proceedings. So I'm not sure if it's going to be on camera or not. But as things stand, people are just waiting for the court proceedings to play out. But Emmanuel Mwamba, on behalf of the Lungu family, has published an international relations and cooperation ministry in South Africa that granted the permit of the burial of the former head of state in that country. So as you may be aware, these documents were not made public during the time of the ceremony that was supposed to take place last Wednesday. But now seems like they are publishing them. So Emmanuel Mwamba published a document coming from the ministry, what we call like Ministry of Home Affairs, International Relations here in Zambia. So he says South Africa granted the Lungu family permission to bury the remains of President Edgar Lungu in that country. So that's how the letter that came from South Africa came. So South Africa will respect the wishes of the family. Dear Mrs. Esther Nangwa Lungu, thank you for the letter dated 18th June 2025 addressed to the Deputy Minister Moraka, informing us of the family's decision to bury the mortal remains of the 60th President of the Republic of Zambia, His Excellency Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu in South Africa. Once again, on my own behalf and on behalf of the government and the people of South Africa, we extend our deepest condolences to the Lungu family as well as the government and the people of the Republic of Zambia on the passing of our former president. We stand in solidarity with the people of Zambia during this challenging time. The South African government has noted the decision of the Lungu family to bury Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu in South Africa. As you may be aware, since the untimely death of former President Lungu, the South African government has been engaging both family and family of former President Edgar Chagwa Lungu and to facilitate the return of the mortal remains to Zambia. The effort stems from a conviction that former president deserves a farewell worthy of his stature. In this regard, His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa received on 13th June 2025 the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Mulamba Ahimbe, in his capacity as Special Envoy to His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema. And on Friday, 20th June 2025, the Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Mr. Ronald Lamola, met with the Lungu family and subsequently traveled to Zambia on Saturday, 21st June 2025, on the behest of President Cyril Ramaphosa, where he met with President Hakainde Hichilema, and accordingly, Minister Lamola conveyed the views of the South African government on this matter. The South Africa regrets that all these efforts to facilitate the return of the mortal remains to Zambia have not achieved the desired outcome. However, South Africa respects the family's decision regarding the burial site of our former president. South Africa remains ready to assist in any possible way should an amicable solution be reached, even at a later stage. So that's how that document read, even at a later stage. So the permit was granted. So they decided to publish it now. I do not know why. That's another number. They published that document. But another document that has been circulating is the death certificate of the former president. So I don't know where Chief Etayari got this, but he seems to have the actual death certificate of Zambia's former president, Edgar Chagwa Lungu. So Chief Etayari captions and then he attaches the death certificate. He says, to those who are still doubting, this is the death certificate of Edgar Chagwa Lungu. So he attaches the document. That's a document he got, and then which tabulates the cause of death and details. So Chief Etayari says, to those who are still doubting, this is the This is the death certificate of Edgar Lungu. Firstly, I am sad that it has reached this point where such information has to be displayed in public, all because of the stubbornness of Makebi Zulu and the so-called family members. According to the death certificate, the cause of death is a septic shock and multi-organ failure, and esophageal cancer. And also picking up the article below, which according to the information I got immediately he died, the hospital had been attending to him since January, cleared him and scheduled him for review for 3 to 4 months later. He was an outpatient, and a different hospital then called him, recommending a minor surgery to improve his health problems. Problem. He went for an appointment on Thursday and underwent a 7-hour operation on Saturday from 7 hours to 14 hours. The operation was successful, and he was taken to a recovery ward where he was responsive. And on Sunday, the doctors said he had developed chest infections and was put on some medication. On Thursday morning, he passed on. So people shouldn't think the tricks behind the death people shouldn't play tricks behind his death. It was natural. So if your daddy alleges to say he's got details of what happened, I do not know the authenticity of that document that he has put up. But anyway, he insists to say it's an actual death certificate. And then he goes further to say, this is still Chief He says, Hakainde Hichilema should not be taken for the villain simply because he has chosen to show his political scars. So he goes further with the article. So you cannot keep on insisting on political injuries of Edgar Chagwa sustained in the political battlefield, because politics can sometimes be worse than war and guns. Yes, it can be worse because at times it has no rules of engagement, and it can affect even those who are not in politics with no age restriction. When Edgar Lungu was in power, he never spared any strategy or weapon available to him to eliminate Hakainde Hichilema from the political battlefield. And if you were to compare the rivals, the incumbent has tried to restrain himself. I am not saying he has done everything right or good, but you cannot compare it to how President Lungu treated Hakainde Hichilema, treated him. So let us be fair as we continue to perpetuate bitterness and hatred against President Hakainde Hichilema. This man who also has political scars, though he is not showing them in public. My point is that it's unfair to label Hakainde Hichilema as the worst villain if you are to compare the two. And I know this is a paradox coming from me, who is in exile under the rule of Hakainde Hichilema, but I will not subject. I'm not a subject of this discussion. The issue is Edgar Chagwa and Hakainde Hichilema. The public lawyer insists to say it was just politics between the two, and then he seems that he is going through something. He goes further and says no, he does not regret, even if other people have forsaken him. God is not going to forsake him. God is going to take care of him as he is in exile. Only 3 people died in the God clash. Mwimbu, Mfumbwe massacre, the murder of gold miners in shooting frenzy angers Zambians. So that's in the mass newspaper. News Diggers, government declares war on illegal mining as police kill 2 in Mfumbwe. Mfumbwe deaths, government challenged to explain the killing of 15 people. So the numbers are all over the place there of the number of people that have died in this. But yeah, the opposition are insisting it's 15. Government is saying it's 3. So we don't know. Zamedeli says only 3 died in the gold crash. Jack Mwimbu there. Embrace Jesus innovation Hakainde Hichilema. And then mass newspaper says where is Why Me? Mouse demands answers from the state on abduction of and rumored death of Why Me. So if you remember, this is the guy who was in Zimbabwe, but according to the authorities, he was arrested. Train and car crash, 8 die. We still have faith in government. They wanted to spend 10 million to fix a hospital crack, which South Africa to respect Edgar Chagwa family wishes. So it seems like that's the way things are standing. But at the moment, we are just waiting for the court verdict. It's been silent for a while now. I just hope they start live streaming the court proceedings so people can make their own analysis and not just dependent on people's views after the court proceedings. That's the news, ladies and gentlemen.